Today, I think I will talk about this. As I mentioned, it is about somatic markers. I think it's a good day to talk about things which matters to individuals. So basically, the concept is, if you really look at how does a consumer choose one brand over another. That's the key questions marketers always struggle with, because the information which we collect from the consumers are short of what is reflecting. Hi Kuldeep, good to see you. So how do consumers decide? See, when we know any brand selection is all about consumers looking at the advantage, what the emotional advantage they get over other brands. In general, emotions operate at two levels in our lives. One is at conscious level and one is at non-conscious. Conscious emotions are what we call the feelings, which is on the top, which is there, and non-conscious emotion is what psychologists call it affective states. And they also include what I call the somatic markers. These somatic markers was coined by a professor of neuroscience and psychology called Antonio Damasio. He discovered that profound events, the big events, can burn into our way inside our memories to such an extent they get embedded in our memories and they can be tracked through even MRI scans. So when these emotions are triggered, the memories can capture that through MRI scans. So they become so well embedded in our brain. So that's what the non-conscious part. So those become so embedded. Hi Vijay, nice seeing you after a long time. So basically it's a process which is shortcut to action with whatever we do. Damasio's work suggests when faced with decisions, human beings only use one criteria to make a decision. How do I feel about it? And brand decision is no different from that. It is like our gut feel decision. Imagine you go to a jungle and you see a lion. What's the first thing you will do? The first thing you will do when you see the lion is that you will run, because you want to save your life. And that's how brain tells you fight, fear or flight. So in that case, when you see a lion, your first thing that your small brain will tell you is to take a flight. And that lion is a somatic marker, because throughout your childhood someone has told you a lion is a big animal and can be dangerous, so it goes into your mind, and that's what is likely to happen. So it becomes a somatic marker in your mind. So when we take a decision, your brain takes the perception which is fixed in your mind because of the previous experience you had, and your brain develops a shortcut way to take the decision. So it moves from A to Z decision to the various perception which it gains over in life. Hi Jutika. So emotion markers or somatic markers play a big role in judgment or choice, and they simplify the way we interact with our lives and in world around us. So even in case of choosing a brand, there are a lot of decision which goes behind a brand, and we decide a X brand before and Y brand. So these emotional markers somehow over time gets updated with every experience we have in our life. So in branding, the biggest misconception we have that the market share is the most important part. Actually, it is not true. It is all about mind and emotions in the mind of your consumers. In fact, the consumer don't desire brands, they desire the outcomes they want to have. So they buy outcome. They buy the job they want to do. Hi Paul. Hi Anjan. So our focus in understanding marketing is usually the feeling. It is not about the brand. It is the feeling we get because of using a particular brand. Socrates in many years back talked about brain, where it is like it's like a wax. If your brain is like a wax, and if you embed some markers which gets embedded through your experiences, the wax captures that. Similarly, your brain works like a wax and captures those emotions, which becomes a neural pathways in giving you those shortcuts to that. Let's take an example. Suppose a somatic marker. If I tell in Eiffel Tower, which country do you remember? It is France, right? So it's a big somatic marker. If I tell I will meet you in Agra, so it will be one famous place which you know is a somatic marker. You don't have to tell, it will be Taj Mahal. So these become the somatic markers in life, like what they had done in Dubai. In Dubai, in one of the malls, hi Hriday, one of the malls, they put a skiing, what you call, mall. So you can ski in that inside. So they spent around $4 million building that mall, but today, you know, that is a marker. Hi Yogesh. So if you think about Dubai and you know about skiing, which mall do you get? So whole world knows there is a mall, there is a skiing which can be done, ice skiing which can be done inside a mall, and that becomes a somatic marker. So when we take decisions to buy, our brain summons and takes experience of the past and takes the incredible amount of memories which we have and squeeze into small shortcuts and quantifies them and allows a rapid response to that decision. And it is not that big brands need to do this, right? Small brands can also do that. Like today, if I talk about a soap which has neem, we all know soap with neem, we know which brand I am talking about. It's Margot, right? Similarly, dirt, if I take and talk about dirt, and you need to talk about a detergent put together, so what does it mean? It means I'm giving you triggers from a somatic marker. When I say dirt, the somatic marker is the dirt, and automatically it links to a brand which is Surf. Hi Anil. So this kind of markers plays very important role. Similarly, if I tell a pug, right? If I ask for a telecommunication mobile network, what is pug related with? The automatically will come to your mind, I'm talking about Vodafone, right? So these are some of the somatic markers which companies use to link your brain to those kind of emotion. Hi Prashant. So basically we have 5 senses, right? Sight, smell, taste, touch and hear. So you could use one of them to influence the brand. So it could be colors. If it is red color, it could be Vodafone. If it is red color, it could be Colgate toothpaste. So red colors could be one of the somatic marker in case of a brand. So what best works for a brand? That's why you see one color coding which happens to a brand. So you'll find that people use that brand very long term. If you look at Nivea, you'll find the blue color. How that became a somatic marker? They launched the blue colored can at the beginning in 1950s, which was the cold cream. Today, they took everything, and in every part of the branding, you'll find blue colors. Dark blue for the pack, and if you look even in the TVC, you will find the curtains will be light blue, even the sofa set will be light blue. So whole ambience will be blue color. So the whole look and feel of any TVC of Nivea will be light, dark shades of blue. So that's the color coding which goes into brand. So it becomes a somatic marker. The brand name itself, Nivea, way it is font, becomes a somatic marker. So what color would work best in a brand? So very, very critical to do that. So somatic marker becomes very, very integral part of our life. Today, let's take the latest somatic marker. What do you think is the latest somatic marker which has impacted our lives? It's COVID-19. It's such a big impact. Today, it has completely changed our behavior. It is a negative somatic marker. We don't want to have the COVID, so it is a negative somatic marker. What it has done? People were in their homes for 70 days, right? So in that process, in 70 days, what people have done, there are a lot of people who bought pets to their home because they're feeling lonely. In fact, 3 of my known relatives have bought pets to their home. Back in Tinsukia, back in Thane, back in US, they have bought 3 dogs, pets to their home. So it is a time when you feel lonely, so you wanted the company of someone, and in that, during this period, you bought in a pet in your house. And what is the outcome of this? It means a lot of people are buying pets. What is the implication of this? There is going to be need for pet house, there is going to be need for dog bowls, there will be need for leash, there will be need for doggy jacket, and even maybe purchase a vacuum cleaner to remove the hairs in the house. So all these are creation which was not happening earlier. COVID-19 has changed the behavior. Second habit which has happened, like today when you are at home, you assume that a lot of calls are coming or some message is coming, so you get in a habit of looking at your phone even if there is no message in there. It is called a phantom vibration syndrome. It is also a somatic marker, because you feel that someone is going to send a message, someone is going to call you, you land up grabbing the phone anytime you feel that someone has given you a message or anything. So this all become a somatic marker in lives. Then the third impact, we had seen that we now disinfect our hand. Whatever we go, whether in the house, even if you touch something, you go and wash your hands. Previously, even while eating, you forget and you tear the roti or maybe use the hand to eat food. Today, you will go and wash, come and eat, and even if you are not going outside, you will still go and wash. So it has become a part of our life. So COVID-19 is a big negative somatic marker which has influenced our behavior in many ways. So COVID-19 has also brought us long buried, never recognized desires to life. We Skype, we call our friends, we get in touch with a lot of our friends which we have not done. A lot of people have taken up baking, yoga, painting. Hi Judy, nice seeing you after a long time. All sort of emotional triggers are driving us to this outcome. And these behaviors in this spending is not going to go away. It will remain a part of our behavior. This is one of a lifetime behavior. So if somatic behaviors is for brands, which I talked about you, what about somatic markers for individuals? How do you brand yourself? When I tell you about charkha and a dhoti, who do you think I am talking about? Hi Rajiv. So one charkha and one dhoti, you know whom I am talking about, right? Is father of the nation. So that is a somatic marker which he has done. It's the individual somatic marker. When I talk about a black turtleneck, right? And he was a CEO of a company. So who do you recognize, right? So it is about Steve Jobs. So there is nowadays what we used to have a jacket which people used to wear. One of the prime minister used to wear earlier. So he used to wear that, right? So you have Jane jacket, and today we have our latest prime minister also having his own jacket. So those are somatic. Hi Rajiv, good evening. So those are also somatic markers. So you become identified with yourself. So as they become brand, they become somatic markers. So if you are an individual, so what somatic marker you would do for yourself. So you also need to create your own somatic marker. Whether it is in terms of dress sense, I had a colleague who always, while coming to office, used to wear a white shirt. So his somatic marker in dressing up was always white. So in your case, what is your somatic marker? Is it the color? Suppose you are wearing mustard color all throughout, you love mustard color and you wear. Suppose you are wearing black shirt all throughout, day, morning, evening. So what it does, it becomes your somatic marker and people will start identifying with you. Otherwise, whatever dress you do, you are not sure about what character you have. So you will have a morning dress, evening dress and all. So normally a brand will always have a particular somatic marker. So what somatic marker is yours? If it is black for Yogesh, so wear black and that becomes your identity. So Yogesh, it's a good somatic marker to have, but you should be wearing black in everything you do. It will make you identified with that, and that's what you will be when you do your NLP programs or whatever you do as you go along in life. So I leave with that. So discover your own or create your own somatic markers. People will identify with you with that. Thank you so much for coming, and maybe we'll do it again next time. Thank you. Life is good. Take care.